Now, when we start working as an engineer, we are constantly challenged, rocking my third diagram, the state of equilibrium, which is impacting our emotional, physical, spiritual balances, and consequently impacting our ability to perform. Now, I'm taking the perspective of, I think my esteemed colleagues are talking about people wanting to become engineers. I'm talking from the perspective of being engineers and reaching the 5% in your career, because I think a lot of people, they become engineers and then halfway through their work life, they give up because of all these challenges. And I'm saying that these challenges that is impacting that decision to actually drop being an engineer comes from this rocking of the state of equilibrium, which is the three factors: your emotional state, your physical state, and your spiritual state. So I'm also drawn to something that someone said to me. Funnily enough, we never hear an engineer, a man engineer, ask this question: should I have a career or should I have a family? Men never ask that question. Why women have to ask that question? I think that is one mindset that we need to change also. But this is the constant question and the constant dilemma and the constant challenge that women engineers will have to deal with, and they'll have to ask themselves this question. Now, the next diagram I have is balancing act. Balancing the act of work and home, as you can see there. Now, this is what gets to a lot of people. They break at this point. So if you can go to the next slide, please. Okay, so I'm saying that the importance of self-realization on your needs and your SWOT, or the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, and understanding of the ability that a woman can offer as an advantage is crucial to every lady engineers. We need to understand. You need to dig deep into yourself and ask that question. And once that decision is made, then you need to actually stick to it. And the ability that we have, when to lead or when to follow. You know, women are better at this compared to the men in general. I don't know whether there's men audience here. I'm going to get killed by this. But in general, you know, these abilities that we have, when to listen, when to talk, the ability to improvise, the ability to actually get the teamwork to work together with respect to leading with ego and things like that. You know, those are the disadvantage of the other gender. These are the advantages of the other of women. You know, being. So if you can go back, I'm sorry, I'm jumping a little bit. If you go back to the previous slide, if you can help me going back to the previous slide. I just like to touch one of the diagram here. I don't know whether people can see. Why is it that women become better leaders? So because women tend to understand and embrace different responsibilities, and women tend to know their rights and boundaries of action that they operate under, and they can deal with the challenges of this balancing act that will be given to you. So if you go, what this means is that in oil and gas, taking all these attributes that we have with women, going forward and knowing that what WEF has predicted, that the competency-based skill sets is the skill sets that we require in the future. I think to flourish as women engineer in the future is huge, because we need people who can analyze. We need people who can adapt. We need people who can jump from one and another, and we need people who can solve a problem. They can have a meeting, change diapers, prepare dinner at the same time. These are multi-facets of being a woman, working woman with family at home. So these are the criteria that will help the engineers to go forward in general. But who better than women to actually have these attributes to move forward? Let's look into areas that is good for ladies. For example, technology, for example, analysis. You know, in Malaysia, most of the platforms in 5 years' time are going to be unmanned. What it means is that they're going to use technology or digitalization to help manage those platforms by having drones, by having CCTVs. So the engineers that will be produced is not the normal engineers that we have, where you have to go to the platform and, you know, wear your coverall and things like that. They can have drones and CCTVs for that. But what we need as engineers is actually to analyze and look at what are the issues from your office into this what the platform, and solve the problems at the platform. So who, to me, this, who can do better than women? You can see I'm a very advocate of women engineers and working in a engineering environment.
Yeah, sorry, no, you have about 1 more minute.
Okay, I'm finished.
Okay, that's
So,
good. That's good.
Yeah. So thank you. Again, I would like to leave everyone with just say, success isn't just about what you accomplish in life. It's about what you inspire others to do. And I would like to motivate all the women out there who is listening. Look, this is the best time for you to become engineers, because the attributes that you will bring in engineering and in those jobs that will be available in the near future is for you. Thank you.
Probably doesn't have the mental picture of Middle Eastern women being engineers. But the people who I've been fortunate enough to get to know over a period of 5 years tell me that the situation is actually much different. Yes, when they go into the office,